Our meeting order of Hibbing School Board ISD 701. It's Wednesday, January 22nd at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. With that, I'd like to welcome everybody here. And with that, we'll move to item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you wish. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do it right now?
That's the same. Kneel down.
Thank you, and with that, I'd like to make an announcement for the camera people. If we could speak up a little bit louder because this event is a little noisy, so anyone who speaks, if they could speak louder. Can you hear me all right? Okay, thank you. With that, we'll move to item 3, newly elected board member, Director Egan, to accept the oath of office.
I swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, and that I will discharge faithfully the duties of my office of school board member of Independent School District number 701, Hibbing, to the best of my judgment and ability.
I do.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard again. Thank you. With that, we'll move to item 4, public comment. Is there anything there, Pat?
There's nothing on there.
Thank you. With that, we'll move to item 5, administrative reports. Anything from administrators?
I'm going to invite my tacky tourist, assistant principal, to join me. And I know that Sarah Coles, I don't want to steal her thunder either, so I know that she's got some things too to talk about as far as high school updates. But as soon as we got back from break, it was full speed. We had fast bridge testing. We had registration and parent night, information night for registration, all in the first 2 weeks back. And our fast bridge testing, we're almost done. We're just finishing up with some stragglers this week, but it looks like district-wide we've made some growth, and at the high school, a 7% increase in the reading, and we have, it stayed the same in math, but 55% of our kids are beyond the benchmark. So that was really good news to hear. And then with registration, we're starting to get those numbers in. We still have about 76 kids that haven't registered. But the really good news is we have an increase in our virtual school. And so Mr. Snyder has some of those numbers.
Yeah, so with registration coming up, we're offering more classes for our Blue Jacket Virtual School next year. We're expanding to 13 classes is what we offered for students to register. We've had quite a few requests, so a lot of our classes are filling up already with students who are interested in the program. And so next year, we'll be able to offer full-time online classes to any juniors or seniors. And then we're looking at getting all of our classes cleared by the state to offer students outside of Hibbing to enroll in our online classes as well. So that's kind of the next steps. And then we're still getting feedback from our semester 1 Blue Jacket virtual students from our pilot program, but the feedback has been really very positive so far. Out of the 42 who've responded to the student survey, 40 of them had said that they would recommend our online programming to other students, and only 2 were no's for various reasons. And 65% of our students in our Blue Jacket virtual survey had said that they were taking our online classes in lieu of a PSEO class. So that's keeping our Hibbing students with us, with our Hibbing teachers. So that's really good for the program. So we're excited to see what year 2 is going to bring us.
Did all of the juniors that participated this year register as a senior for next year in them?
I haven't looked at it
Okay.
too much. I just have like raw numbers
Sure,
of how
yeah.
many.
We don't have the individual
Yeah.
kids.
I just
right
get like
now.
a number, so it says like for personal finance, 26 students requested the class with 9 as an alternate.
Okay.
So
And then I know you had hopes, maybe not even in year 2, but to extend it even to other grades. But we're still just leaving it as junior and senior for another year?
yeah, with with not knowing what the budgets are gonna be, I'd hate to offer, say, we're gonna expand to here, and then if we have to reduce, and then we're unable to fulfill. So we're just scaling up our course offerings, but still sticking with the juniors and seniors.
Any questions?
I just have did you attend the parent meeting about registration?
Yes.
So, I know we're always battling with the PSEO, but I know that, at our last meeting, we had, the vote or just the information on the weighted grades. And I believe that in there, the PSEO classes, the SITS courses, the honors classes, they're all weighed at the higher. So the PSEO isn't weighed differently than the SITS courses here or the honors classes, correct?
Right, they're all the same.
Okay, and that's what I understood, that's what I read. But there was 2 families that contacted me who attended parent night that got the impression that PSEO courses were not weighed like those other ones. So I just hope that, I understand we want them here, but in those meetings that were registration classes that we're having, that we're giving all the information and accurate information, not skewing it so people stay here for those SITS classes.
And Mr. Hance and Ms. Hooka were the presenters, and then I was there too for questions and helping people. And we had handouts and everything, and we had handouts of the slideshow, and so they could refer to that. And Mr. Hance did a great job of just laying out the information and not giving opinions or saying this is the best way or and he said that. He laid that out and said, I'm not here to give opinions. These are the options that we have, and we did put on our registration this year, we broke out the PSEO classes so kids can register PSEO SITS on the screens. But I know Kim was there too, did
Yes,
you?
Sarah, I was just going to say, I can attest to that. As I heard it, they informed those present that there was going to be weighted grades in the Hibbing schools this year. And as I recall hearing, the only thing that was really, trying to describe the difference between the different types of courses, but I think even went so far as to say that the college was going to be providing a seminar for registration for PSEO courses soon. It was upcoming. But this year, for this academic year, one of the things I did and kind of prepared for the last meeting, I talked to MDE, and there's a new state statute effective this academic year that if a school district is weighting SITS courses, they have to weight PSEO courses the same way.
It would
So
make sense, yeah.
that's new, and there are districts that did not do that in the past, and it was a student-driven legislative change.
I will say too that one of the families that contacted me was thrilled about the weighted grades, and they're doing all of SITS classes here. So, thank you. I know you put a lot of time into getting more of those SITS classes and reasons behind that of keeping students here, and they said that was the reason why they stayed. So,
And our honors classes too, because honors classes are for kids who are in 9th and 10th grade, and you can't take PSEO as a 9th or 10th grader or a lot of SITS classes, so they can start earning, that higher GPA right away as 9th graders. Yeah.
I've been continuing to think about this from the let's keep kids in school here. And on that matrix, if I remember right now, we don't have weighted courses at Hibbing High School in social studies or Phi-Ed. So this is kind of my crazy idea. I understand that there's state teaching licensure requirements that you have to have a certain number of master's credits in field in order to do SITS. Could we do some sort of honors course in those subject areas to at least provide an opportunity for a student to stay here and get a weighted grade versus going across the highway and getting a weighted grade? So you don't have to answer, but just, could we do an honors course?
That's a really good idea. Carrie,
Carrie,
take note of that.
Got it.
Social Studies Department honors classes.
or even
Yeah.
math.
That's
You know,
it.
like maybe to
Well, we do
add
have
some
honors
theory.
math.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, Phi Ed, maybe to add theory in something. Because if they go across the street, they can sign up for any Phi Ed class and you'll be weighted.
Yeah, and I've seen other districts where they have sort of like a capstone, you know, for like an honors course. So you could take the history course, but then if you do that capstone above and beyond, that gets you the honors credential. So
So just a way to try to create opportunity for our students in our building.
Yeah, that's a good idea, thank you. And thanks for the feedback, Sarah.
Very good.
Thank you.
I have to digress here, I apologize. I skipped the administrator, the student director, when he comes.
The bird, but you gotta wait for me.
I beg your pardon?
Says you gotta wait for me, you didn't give me a chance.
He skipped Sarah
I'm waiting for you.
We're waiting for. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, we'll go. Then
Either
we'll
one
get
you
back
want,
to the
doesn't
student
matter.
director and our director, so go ahead, Mr. Gordon.
Me, I'm short and sweet. We're at the Lincoln, second semester is underway. We've had a pretty successful first half of the year. Growing pains, you know, with the new changes and everything else, kind of ironed out a few things, changed things throughout the year. Like I said, we've come up with a lot of different things. Starting to work on next year, getting all that kind of stuff going. Like they're doing registration at the high school. We're going to look into some registration for our 6th to 7th grade with some options, maybe adjusting some more and going more to a high school type of rotation with the 7th grade at least, so the kids will flow with their own schedules. Working with the tech department here about Power School and being able to make all that work, because this year we had to kind of just slide into how we did things at the Lincoln with the groups and everything we did, because with Power School, the initial thing is if you know, your building is this way, the whole building's gotta be that way. You can't have one grade doing this and a couple other grades doing this. So Amy Mann's been working pretty hard trying to figure out if she could maybe do a site within a site, or what we could do. Because I guess one of the biggest hangups this year was, especially with the 7th grade kind of moving around, was that attendance. Because when we're in elementary attendance, we do an AM and a PM. With the kids transferring from hour to hour to hour, it's nice to be able to have an attendance every hour and to keep track of those kids. So that was one of the big things we're trying to figure all that out. So we're meeting actually tomorrow morning to go over a bunch of that stuff and get some answers. So that will be good. So we're just right now, it's like my focus, as weird as it is, and we're in January, is I'm working on next September. So getting going on all that. Just a quick update on our playground to let you know where that is. Equipment's been ordered. We're planning on breaking ground on the playground on the last day of school with kids on June 3rd. We figured we could have the kids out there and include them in on some groundbreaking stuff, ceremonies for the playground. Construction will start on the playground tear down of our old one on June 9th, Monday, June 9th, so they're gonna get going on that. PTO still working on the final touches of funding and is now, because we're getting really close to what they initially needed to get to, attempting to go even a little above and beyond now, where we started off with some poured areas in there and then wood chips. Now that we've been doing so well, they're trying to stride a little farther and be able to pour the whole playground, so it'll all have that, when we won't have any wood chips, so people will be able to go anywhere in there, which will be really nice. So again, kudos to Miss Hintz and Miss Whitney. They've been the two kind of co-chairs leading that charge, doing an amazing job with grants and everything else. I mean, when we started off, we needed about 580,000, so, and they're getting close to that goal now, so that's amazing in a little over a year and a half. So as Mrs. Corr said, we're finishing up our winter fast bridge testing windows. Don't have any numbers from our building yet, because this will finish shipping up at the end of the week with our kids getting all those done, so our staff's been working hard on that. And just one other thing I had, we have local children's author Mary Castanova's coming. She's actually lives up in International Falls, but she's got a bunch of books out. Between Miss Hildner, our librarian, Miss Ronning here, they put this together. She's from International Falls. She's going to be with us in the morning on February 19th and in the afternoon at the high school. So kids are excited about that. I mean, the Mary Casanova books are like never can get them because all these kids are checking them out. So yeah, that's about it at the Lincoln for right now.
Derek, I have a question. So, and it's kind of a spin-off of our finance meeting with Bonnie. So the equipment is ordered, that's amazing. I mean, that's like to generate those kinds of funds in that time period. So was the money donated to the school district and the school district made the purchase, or did the PTO make the purchase?
Right now, the purchase has been made, nothing's been paid for yet. So there's a couple grants that tie into the PTO where we've got to do, PTO will have to pay for them. And we'll have to gift that back to the school. Otherwise, the rest of it, the PTO's, the money will go to the school and the school will purchase everything. Right, Alex? I mean, that's kind of what we talked about that day, so.
So the board will accept that.
Accept it,
When it's, after it's constructed?
yes.
So
You'll leave,
just-
all the bills will come in after it's all done.
Okay, so wait a minute, now I'm confused. Did the school district issue our purchase order, put it out on bid, and make the purchase?
No money's been spent.
So that
We
it's,
actually, the PTO started the process and they had 3 different companies come up and bid it out, so we do have all that. So I guess we didn't start that process, they did.
so it's
that's
the
what you're
PTO
asking.
that, yeah, so
Yes.
in other words, it's like, is the PTO purchasing it, constructing it, and then donating the finished product to the school? Or are they donating the money to the school?
I think it's a combination of both. Because there's some grants that tie into that 503C for the PTO, so they have to purchase stuff.
Okay.
And then there's other stuff that will just donate money and the school purchase. So it's kind of a combination of both. Whatever the PTO purchases is just gonna be given as a gift then.
Yeah.
That comes to you guys to approve or to accept. So when we're all said and done, it's got nothing to do with the PTO, it's all the schools.
And there's just one lump sum payment.
Yep, at the end, that's what we found out the other day, so there hasn't been any real payments yet, I don't believe, so.
Thank you.
How do the 7th graders, okay, first let me ask, do the 7th graders still get recess at the Lincoln?
Yes.
So how is that part going? I mean,
Not, because that was the norm for them, it was not really a change, you know, so they did it in
they
3rd,
haven't
4th,
really
5th, 6th.
outgrown it.
No, but the equipment we're getting is gonna be more geared to, you know, the bigger kids. So when last year when we made the change to 7th grade, they went in and changed the design of the playground a little bit to, you know, suffice for a little bit older, bigger kids, some bigger equipment, a little bit bigger equipment. So we're trying to hit that whole demographic of 4th through 7th grade. Yeah. Okay,
Very good.
thank you.
Now we can go to the student representatives.
Like as Mrs. Moore mentioned before, there's a lot going on this month with the end of registration and fast bridge testing. It's also Spirit Week and beginning of 2nd semester. So something that the school's putting on tomorrow is the one-act performance as well for the students, and then the opening act is going to be on Friday. It's for kids of all ages, adults as well. A lot of other winter activities going on too.
Very good.
So, what time is the Jacket Jamboree on Friday?
Jacket Jamboree, it'll be first hour.
So at 8?
Yep, 8 a.m. to about 9:20ish.
And what time is the one act for adults and?
So for the school performance, it'll be towards the end of the day, and then I'm not entirely sure, I believe it was 7 p.m. Friday. I've asked Mrs. Cortho to double check.
Okay, thank you.
Very good, thank you. Is that any director's report?
I have a director's report, and there's been a lot going on for us too these last couple of weeks. And first of all, I was communicating with Superintendent Aldrich related to some of this stuff that we have going on, and he said to send his apologies for being gone today, but he's on the road, so, and has been out of his office a lot, he said, with the MSBA conference last week. So that was absolutely amazing. Just a lot of good sessions on communications from schools and strategic planning. Athletics was a hot topic, and contracts with the separate 501c3 organizations. That was one of the last workshops we went to, and it was done by an attorney. The conference room was too big and there was standing room only. Met a lot of great people, and one of the highlights was having Chair Berklich there in his tenure. And then we did a District 11 election and meeting, and it was so powerful. Basically, a District 11 is school boards from Duluth north.
The whole northeast corner of the
Yeah.
state is, yeah.
And just the financial challenges of our rural districts. So Superintendent Aldrich spoke up and
And it goes down to Moose Lake and Rapids and Hill City, and it's a big area, so.
so one of the suggestions, because they're gonna try to get some legislative folks to come to our different districts, but we said, you know what, let's try to get all of us, because there were a lot of people in that room, in one room, and they can hear our story. There's some power in numbers. And then, I don't know if it's as a result of all that or what, but next week, the Finance Committee and Superintendent Aldrich are gonna go down and testify on the challenges all these legislative changes have had on our operations and under and unfunded mandates. So we're gonna testify in front of the Senate Education Finance meeting, or committee on Wednesday. And then the local leadership committee met on Monday the 13th, and again, it was amazing, and goal setting and looking towards next year. And then the other thing is, at some point after the Rams nomination, Chair Berklich kind of, I don't know what the right word is, suckered me into
That's close enough.
applying for an appointment on the ARDC council. And so I found out on Thursday when I was in the cities that I will be one of the school board reps on the ARDC commission, which is made up of several counties. There's about 38 members, and there's 2 school board reps. So it'll be myself and the Mesabi East School Board Director.
You want
But
to tell them what ARDC stands for?
Arrowhead Regional Development Commission, and it focuses on regional development and leadership, resource allocation and management, and administrative functions. So I would be lying to you if I said that I didn't have a lot to learn, but if we can do anything, because it includes the counties of Aiken, Carlton, Cook, Itasca, Cooch, Lake, and St. Louis County. So
And I think in the last 30 years, we've never had any representation on there, so this will be interesting. Good for the district,
yeah, so we have 3-year appointments.
and thank you for doing that.
Always get into trouble.
And, it'll keep you out of trouble. Anything else? Any committees reports, we already had that. Any other committees? Hearing none, we'll move to item 6, a motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
Moved by Director Polter, supported by Director Egan. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. With that, we'll move to item 7, motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
Moved by Director Polter, supported by Director Duarte. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. With that, I'll turn, item 8, I'll turn it over to Sir Alex, administrative business.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome.
Item A is a motion to approve the resolution to accept donations, and they consist of $2,512 from Splash Express to support the athletic department, $500 from AMFA Educational Trust to support LEGO Robotics, and $200 from CTC to support LEGO Robotics.
Support.
Moved by Director Christine, supported by Director Kim. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you.
Item B is a motion to accept the American Indian Education AIPAC and district compliance documentation and resolution of concurrence as presented.
Support.
Moved by Director Polter, supported by Director McLaughlin. Any discussion? This is done every year on an annual basis, just for people at home. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. We'll go to item 9, discussion items.
I have one.
Oh, go ahead.
Speaking with some of the teachers in the 1 through 3 grades, and maybe I can address this to Mrs. McDonald. The amount of money we spend on iPads and the amount of use they get in those grades, is it worth it? I mean, it's kind of taken away from the elementary teachers and what they're doing with their job. And some of them, they just keep on a cart and then they use them as will as when to be used. I'm looking at it as if that would be a cost savings that we could probably take a look at, if it's acceptable to the teachers that they would be able to do something like that. Just a food for thought.
So, Director Egan, I'm forming a committee of teachers and our tech department where we're going to start exploring the purchases that we make, digital applications, curriculum purchases that we make. So it's kind of a joint decision, and we're making sure that we're purchasing what we need for kids of all ages. So that's something that I can bring to that committee to explore. I know that there's been discussion of that in the past. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but we did not purchase new iPads for the K through second graders this last time. We actually kept the old ones and just continued to use those, and then replaced the iPads for, I think, third grade and up. So we have definitely considered that, and the amount of usage. And right now by law, the amount of usage we can have in kindergarten is very limited. So, yeah.
Does that grade level get to take their iPads home? No?
No.
Okay.
In my eyes, it's kind of taken away from the ability of the teachers to teach, when they're not really using the iPad, except for if you want something, you go to the cart and grab it and look at it. And, I'm just looking at it as a cost savings, maybe something down the road, especially when budget time starts rolling around, and we have to start looking at what we can save and what we can't.
We could
Thanks.
check with Joel too to see if there's some kind of saving there. So it's worthwhile looking into and bring it up, so we'll keep that on the front burner, I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. With that, we'll move to item 10, turn it over to Director Polter.
Motion to adjourn.
Without objection, meeting is adjourned. It's 4 o'clock, and thank everybody for showing up and participating.
Hibbing Public Access TV may be viewed on these platforms: hpat.org with video on demand, Mediacom Hibbing 802, 805, and 807. On Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Download the Hibbing Public Access TV app for your iPhone and Android devices. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo. For more information, scan the QR code and go to hpat.org. Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank Mediacom for all the years they have supported our organization. Visit their office at 3105 East Beltline, Suite number 2 here in Hibbing, and give them a call at 855-633-4226. For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support.